Hello everybody, here we are again. Our second OutCider session, again in some very nice woodland this week, and we've got quite a lot of music for you, so I'm not going to babble on.
That'll make a change.
Thanks, Mo.
Nice to see you. Well,
No,
hear you, I can't see you,
yeah.
yes indeed. Start as we mean to go on.
Incompetently.
What's the first tune then?
Waters of Tyne.
This one is called... Oh, I don't know. I have forgotten. He tricked you. It's their version of Waters of Tyne. It is a sort of waltz. But I can't waltz. I only have 2 legs. And it's in 3. Ha ha.
Right, that was Waters of Tyne, following on a bit from last week's stuff from up there, kind of a little bit exploring ancestry. Mum was talking to me afterwards and reminded me about not such distant relatives who were keelmen.
Yeah, those
on the
videos
Tyne.
were really rather fabulous. We had a lot of comments as to how old
on
they
the ship
actually
stuff.
look.
Yeah.
They really don't look as if they're from the 50s. You'd probably, I don't know, pre-war, quite early pre-war probably.
Yeah, it looks pre-war. I mean, I guess he had old cine stuff, which helps give that impression. But also, just who would have thought now that boats were still being built in that absolutely old style
Absolutely,
at that point in
yeah.
the 50s?
No,
Yeah.
you never would have expected that. I wouldn't have, anyway.
Well, I didn't either. So anyway, I was looking for a bit of stuff about keelmen, maybe some kind of tunes, some songs. There are some things, the keel row and all that, but nothing seemed particularly interesting that I've thought of yet. Might come up with something. Any suggestions would be welcome, actually. But I thought Waters of Tyne was nice, so
Yeah.
we did that.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very pleasant to play with bird song in the background and sunlight coming through the leaves. Oh, it was,
Yeah,
lovely.
in a wood in absolutely the centre of England, as far,
Yes, as far from the water
Tyne
as
as
we
you
could
can
possibly get, whilst my ankles were being nibbled by all sorts of interesting insects. It was great.
Yes, I was unnibbled, which was great too. So the next one's similar, really. It's no, it's not similar in any musical way, but from the same area. It's I love the title. It's called "The Ducks Dang O'er My Daddy." Who would have thought that to dung was a word, a verb rather? I dung, you dung, I dang, not danged. Note.
You see, you don't just come for musical entertainment, you're getting an education
Yes,
of
absolutely.
sorts.
There's a little song that goes with it. Basically, the ducks shat over my father twice, followed by, but don't worry about it, just let him lie there, he's useless anyway.
Is it written about your father, is the question we have to
I'm
ask?
certain it cannot be, no. Certainly not if he's watching anyway.
Excellent, let's have a listen.
Adam told me that this is another Tyneside jig, but this one is about my arch enemies, the ducks that shat on my daddy. Apparently, they dunged on him, and that is what it is about. Nasty ducks.
So there we are, that well-known tune all about the defecation of ducks. Which, slightly more catchy title, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, before we move on to the next one, I have to do the now completely traditional mention of CDs. So we have Untold, we have the new InCider Sessions CD. Links are wherever the heck they go.
Oh yes, and being pressed by the Wombles, which were
Womble.
not fired, thank you.
Oh,
Everybody last week seemed very positive about the Wombles' efforts. The Wombles we have hired press links whenever we mention them, which we've forgotten to do so far today. So hopefully they're going to overdrive at this point.
Yes. Link, ping, link, ping, link, ping. And don't forget, coffee, Apple-related coffee. If anyone wishes to purchase, buy us, treat us to a drink, we would be very grateful. The word. Very grateful.
Yes. Very good.
And many thanks, as ever, for the previous most enjoyable beverages.
So, in our wood, we played extremely old English feeling tune, which actually apparently comes from Ireland initially, but was written down by the Elizabethan composer William Byrd, first of all. But he'd stolen it from an old Irish melody and took the credit, which is fairly evil.
Dearie me. Can you imagine if that were happening now? The media frenzy, court cases, you name it. But in his day, you could just do it. Off we go. There we are.
It's under a title called In Callino Casturame, which sounds like
I think your accent is superb there. I thought that was really
I know, it sounded exactly like me saying more or less anything, didn't it? But then what accent would it be in? Because although that sounds like some kind of clever Latin, it is in fact apparently a corruption of some Irish words, which mean I'm a poor girl from down by the river, which we got Molly from the Heart to say for us so you can hear it. It sounds like this.
Callino Casturame.
I'm going to have to work really hard to practice being able to announce that.
I think that we'll have to bring her on tour with us.
Yeah.
Although that might... Yeah. She'll have to get a visa, though. That'll be difficult. Why do you need your visa? To say... Anyway, yeah, I think we should listen to it, because this is going downhill again.
Yes. Here it is.
This tune was first written down by William Byrd, an ancestor of Jeremy Byrd, in the 16th century. But people think it was from an older Irish tune called Callino Casturame. He. But sometimes it's called In Summertime. I know that tune. In the summertime when Jeremy's fine. Summertime.
So that was a tune with a name that neither of us can pronounce. So thank you once again to Molly from the Ha for announcing it. And that does remind us that the Ha's new CD is out next week. So out a week on Friday,
Yeah,
I believe.
5th of June, I
Here
think.
it is. So they're also available for sale. Wombles, off we go. Ping, the link has just appeared. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
And they're getting some very nice reviews already.
What,
Nice
the
words
Wombles?
from Mike Harding. The Wombles are getting reviews. Mike Harding said our Wombles were excellent. No, he said some very nice things on his podcast about what we were doing.
Yes.
So that's very good.
Yes. Right, Adam, you'd better explain what's coming.
Well, this is that watershed moment, really, for all those who are, like me, awaiting with horror Jeremy's interview, and those who've tuned in only to hear it. You're at the right moment. It's with Murray this week, socially distanced on FaceTime, which actually turns out to be all to the good for him, as you'll see at the end.
What are you doing here?
No,
Why
nemesis.
is it not Adam?
You're sounding like a Dalek, but never mind. Jeremy, I have some questions for you.
Me?
That's no
From
questions.
who? From you?
Well, there might be a question from me. There might be a question from our
keep me
viewers.
up.
There might be a question from Adam.
Hmm.
We shall see.
But you
First-
wake me in the night.
Yes, well, you're a chicken.
No. A fabulous bird.
Yes, first question.
Yes.
Shoes.
Shoes?
Shoes.
I like shoes.
Yes, I thought that might get your attention.
Mm.
Shoes.
Shoes are good.
Tell
They,
Tell us all about your very first pair.
me,
Yes. Well, if you like shoes, you must have some, surely.
no,
Well, how do you know you like shoes then?
they don't belong to me.
But
I just visit them,
what do you do with shoes then if you don't wear them?
have fun with shoes. I like them.
Yes, so that didn't really quantify it. You have fun, but with what sort of
With my
activity?
beak and my
Oh.
tail.
I
Yes.
see. I'm thinking we might want to move on because this is
No,
getting...
no.
Yes?
I
Yes.
like Crocs and I like sandals and
Okay.
all sorts of things like that. And I get in trouble. Yes.
What about stilettos?
I haven't met any.
Well, something to build up to, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So, question number 2. Let me check my list here. It's question number 2. Right. So, how do you feel that you have influenced the Ciderhouse Rebellion?
I am their muse.
Muse.
Fabulous bird.
Yes.
A really, really good bird. And
So-
if I wasn't there, you wouldn't be able to do your shows.
That's interesting. So, how old are you, Jeremy?
I don't know.
Well, I think
At
you're
least
probably...
10.
Yes, 10 months, maybe. Yes. So, just something for you to ponder, perhaps, is Ciderhouse Rebellion has been playing there for longer than you've existed.
But before you were no good. And now you are better because of me, the fabulous bird, the muse.
So, Jeremy, are you therefore accepting the fact that we might have some quality?
No.
Oh,
I
thought you said
still
we were better.
sing best. Jeremy Byrd, Jeremy Byrd.
Yes, okay. Right, so I would like... Can we just have a private chat? Nobody else is watching this.
Not my fans.
What is it like living with Adam?
Adam.
Yeah, Adam. What's he really like?
Adam. He tells me off. He does. When I take his shoes. And he keeps me up at night. But he helps me find caterpillars. In the garden.
Ah, okay. So, in general, would you say your relationship with Adam is positive or negative?
I can see Adam. Now.
Yes.
So, I can't say.
Oh.
But I can also say he is mean to me. Keeps me up.
Yes.
Poor Jeremy Byrd.
Yes. I'd like to say I'm sympathetic.
What do you have in your ears?
What do I have in my what?
Ears.
What do I have in my ears?
Yes.
Wax, probably. Headphones, so that I can hear your dulcet tones.
I don't have them.
No, we did look
My
into the
ears are
concept.
too small.
Yes, we did look into this concept, but
Yes.
apparently you haven't got Bluetooth.
I don't have teeth.
Yeah.
No teeth.
No.
But my beak is sharp
So-
beak. And I can attack you because you won't give me headphones. Or recognition because I'm so fabulous.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to give you any headphones.
Will
No.
get you. Yes.
I'm going to move rapidly on to the last and perhaps
we
most
haven't
important
finished.
question.
For the fans.
A very important question, Jeremy.
Yes, for the fans.
Are you ready for this question?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to read it because it's really complicated.
Oh,
Concentrate now.
you can't even
hang on.
remember a
No, I
little
can't.
question.
No, this is true.
Stupid Murray.
Yeah. Now concentrate.
Stupid.
Do be quiet. If
Shh, Murray.
if
If.
if seven chickens
Seven.
if 7 chickens flew into the room, how many chickens are there in Alaska?
They don't live there.
That's an incorrect answer. If 7 chickens fly into the room, how many chickens are in Alaska?
No chickens. It's too cold for chickens. I
don't
live
know.
in a temperate climate.
I've seen a lot of frozen chicken in my time.
Shh. Nasty, nasty Murray. Murray tandoori. Murray kokova. In the pot with Murray.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Jeremy,
Cook,
we are
cook,
still...
Murray, cook the Murray.
We are socially distanced still, which I think might be for the best.
Shh.
Thank you, Jeremy Byrd.
Go away. Out of my
Yes,
house.
thank you, Jeremy Byrd. It has been interesting. Well, life-changing, I think I could describe that experience.
Not as life-changing for you as he was hoping. If he
No.
managed to get you boiled in that pot, I think your life would have been even more.
Yes, well, at some point, when the lockdown is over, we will meet again. We have actually met, of course, Jeremy and I, but he was only,
A
well,
week old, 2 weeks old? Very
yeah,
young.
something of that order. But even then, he did try and attack me, so,
Oh,
you know.
he tried to eat your beard, didn't he?
Yeah. What can I say?
Good.
So this week has been the OutCider experience number 2 for us. It's lovely. It's so much better to be out in the fresh air and able to actually see each other, although we maintain our distance, obviously.
Yeah, and we were spectacularly inefficient because we were so busy being in the middle of a pleasant wood and just chatting. It took us about 45 minutes to even get our
Yes.
iPhones stuck onto their stands.
Yes. We forgot that. We forgot memory cards. I forgot my cider. I mean, it just, could have gone better.
There were certain problems with the filming as well. Murray somehow managed to get the sun flashing across his lens in a slightly dubious way, and my phone on the next track again did the thing it's done once before of just randomly stopping mid-video, so you'll get some very nice pictures of trees that we took afterwards after a while.
Yes.
Which all would, I mean, it's actually probably my fault more than the phone's, because this is an old phone because I somehow squished my nice new one a little while ago just before lockdown, and therefore haven't managed to do anything much about it.
I don't know. You do have a bit of a tradition for destroying phones or dropping them in ditches or losing them or something. Anyway, there isn't time to go into that, I don't think.
Yes. Definitely not.
This next piece is really a Ciderhouse improvisation, as we do. What have we called it? Because I can't remember.
Well, it's. I'm just going to step back for 1 second and say again a thank you, Dunkertons, for supporting us. And just this is a bit of blatant Dunkertons advertising. Just at the moment, they're doing this Kingston Black, which I think sells out very quickly. Really, really good. If it's still available, might be worth it. Unfortunately, mine is empty. And I have run out.
Mine is non-existent. I haven't had a chance to sample this one yet. Deary me.
Deary you indeed. However, that leads us neatly to the title, which was chosen by Jeremy Byrd himself. It's called 3 Barrels Wide. He's talking about cider. And I think the clue there is that I was forced several times this week by my family, and indeed Jeremy Byrd himself, to cycle 8 miles round our reservoir because my cider intake is having a bad effect on my girth. So here it is, 3 Barrels Wide.
I, Jeremy Byrd, will name this tune. Ha ha! I shall call it 3 Barrels Wide. Like a dam. Ha ha!
Well, thank you all very much for being here again with us, and hope to see you next week. That's bye-bye from me.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be out into the woods somewhere. We will attempt to remember all the little bits and have bought some new batteries by then. And
Well, that's
so
the
on.
point.
Yes, get ordering, Adam. Get ordering. So all things being equal, we will see you same time next week.